We're going to tell you a story about a man called Daniel and when he came face to face with some lions. There was a man named Daniel.
Hello.
Daniel really missed his home in Jerusalem, but Daniel also wanted to please God. And so Daniel worked really hard. He worked so hard he became one of the king's special helpers. But Daniel never forgot about God, and he prayed to him every morning, afternoon and evening. But some of the other helpers of the king were jealous of Daniel because they wanted his job for the king. So they came up with a plan to take away Daniel's job. They went to the king and said to him,
"King, I think there should be a new rule. No one should be allowed to pray to God. Everybody should pray to just the king."
They knew that Daniel would break the rule and pray to God. Then he would definitely lose his job. His enemies were pleased, and indeed the very next day Daniel bowed his head and prayed. He prayed to God and not the king.
Thank you, God, for taking care of me in this land, far from my home. Forgive us and help us to get home soon.
But Daniel's enemies were spying on him, and they saw him praying. So they ran to the king to tell him what had happened.
"We saw Daniel praying to God, and that's against the rules, so he must be punished. Why don't you throw him to the lions?"
The king was sad to hear this. But that was the rule, so he sent Daniel to the lion's den. But as he put him in there, he whispered a prayer to God that no one could hear.
"Please God, somehow save Daniel from the lions."
Daniel was scared as he was put in the lion's den. It was dark and deep, and he could see the lion's teeth around him.
Please help me, God. I don't want to be eaten by lions.
But the lions growled. Then suddenly the lions stopped. There was a voice behind Daniel. It was an angel from God.
"Shoo! Quiet! Go away, lions!"
Daniel was very surprised to see all the lions go quiet, lie down, and even go to sleep.
"There's nothing to worry about now, Daniel. God sent me to watch over you so you can get some sleep."
The next morning the king was thrilled to see that Daniel was still alive.
Pull Daniel out of the den right away. And while you're at it, arrest those silly men who talked me into this law and punish them instead.
The king put his arm around Daniel and walked him back to the palace, for God had kept Daniel safe.